What did you see from him today?
I saw, a performance that I wasn't sure that Daniel had in him. I mean, Buncey touched on it there previously, that after from round 4, 5, 6, I was hoping I was wrong, but I had a feeling that Daniel was going to get stopped. I thought that Jarrell Miller was applying the pressure and Daniel was looking really, really exhausted. But he rode the storm. And I think a performance like that is something that's going to really propel Daniel's career for a couple of reasons. First of all, it's a big win. It's a good win. But I think he's learned something new about himself tonight, that he can actually battle through a bit of adversity. And when he's getting it tough and it's not always going his own way, he can fight back. So, I mean, credit to him. I was someone who's been critical of him in the past, but a fantastic performance, I thought.
Do you think, Anthony, in the early rounds especially, we were a little bit worried watching that, thinking, what's he doing? Is he kind of trying to take the pressure of the weight of Jarrell too much?
We thought, and we were speaking sort of off camera, was Daniel working a little bit too hard, a little bit too early on, but Jarrell Miller was making him work that hard, and that was always going to be the plan, to try and burst lungs of Daniel Dubois. And I sort of said it before the fight, tiredness, it makes quitting a lot easier. And that's what it does. That's when, you know, your mind's playing tricks on you. And it does. It makes quitting a lot easier. And in rounds, I think Buncey said it was 4 or 5. There was worrying rounds. But what he's done there, Daniel Dubois, he's come through that adversity. So he's ticked that box. He's going to be such a better fighter for that. He's going to have so much belief in himself for coming through a fight like that. Like Carl said, he can, I don't want to say he could turn a fight around because he was still up on the cards, but it was worrying moments. And the way he closed the show as well, he didn't just see the fight out, he was well up on the cards. No, he went out there in the final round and closed the show. And these was the worrying rounds, I think, that we was on about, where it looked like Daniel was blowing up the lungs, was bursting a little bit.
We were kind of screaming from backstage there a little bit and saying that he was doing too much. There was times where he was having to use a lot of strength to push Jarrell Miller off him, and you're thinking, like, you're doing too much here. Like
Rich is saying, good basics, or win you this. And like that's the thing, he was just working a bit too hard too soon, but he's come through. That's a lovely body shot there. And I think they played a part in slowing Miller down. But he's, I thought all in all, as the fight went on, and then he got that second wind, his shot selection was fantastic at times as well.
Going to the body well, icing on the cake, the stoppage as well, fantastic.
What do you think this opens up for him? As we watch these last couple of rounds of this fight, what fights does this open up for Daniel?
I mean, there's a lot of fights. There's fighters that are on this bill that, I mean, everybody's clambering for that kind of, to get into that position behind Fury and Usyk. Daniel is now, after beating Miller, back in the mix again. Along with guys like AJ, along with guys like Wilder and Hrgovic. He's right in there. I think Martin Bakole, someone who's not on the bill, I think he needs to be mentioned as well. Very good fighter. But he's right back amongst it.
I think there with Daniel Dubois, the amount of pressure that's been on him this week, for him, we're on about him overcoming a little bit of adversity in the fight, but the whole fight week, the whole pressure on his shoulders, where tonight a loss would have been very hard for him to come back from, even though at the age of 26, it would have been very damaging. And now he goes into 2024.
I think with some of the things that he says this week, and they were funny. And that performance against, you know, a guy who served a ban, but, you know, a convicted drugs cheat, Daniel Dubois will have a lot more fans after what he's done this week, I think.